Greetings, humans. So in this video we're going to build upon the DialogFlow bot, and we're also going to continue on the Sped by Me project by creating an intent that will allow someone to do a basic math calculation and then receive a graphic that is related to the how the answer is found. So let's go ahead and create our intent. So we're gonna name this one Basic Math Help. Now, I am going to prefix this with the number 3 because what I'm going to do is we're going to order each of our intents. We're going to number them. That way, we'll be able to create very organized documentation for ourselves and be able to match things up easily and that sort of stuff. So I'll go ahead and save this. And let's add. Now, before we add our, I'll go ahead and add one training phrase. But no. Actually, I don't want to add a training phrase yet. Let's go ahead and add an entity first. And the entity that we're going to create is going to be operand. Right? And let's do fuzzy matching. So let's have multiply. Synonyms are going to be let's do and. No, and isn't something. And would probably be for add. So let's do multiply times, let's just do an X. All right, then let's have addition or add. Oh, product. Let's put product over here. So then for add, we're gonna have sum and plus symbol. For divide, divided, and subtract, minus, take away, from. Up here we need the division symbol, which will represent with the slash. Subtract, we need the subtraction symbol. So those are our basics, and we'll evolve these. This is just coming off the top of my head. So let's go back to our intent. Okay, so we see that the agent training has started. It's completed now. I'm gonna also, so the default fallback intent, I'm going to number this one 1. And then for the welcome intent, let's number this one 2. The reason why I like to number the default fallback intent as number 1 is because for me, it's easier to decide what to say in every case the bot doesn't know what to say. So that's the first thing I normally solve is what is the bot going to say when none of my intents match? Like that's the thing, because quite often none of your intents are going to match, especially in the beginning, because human beings have the most spontaneous and unpredictable behavior patterns. Like you do your best to define all your intents and everything, but then an enormous part of the development is seeing what happens in the real world and making adjustments. And so the first thing I like to do is give a really solid response if nothing happens. But in this video, we're focused on entities and fulfillment. And so I'm not going to, because this bot is nowhere near going live. This is only for training. And so let's stay focused on entities, but just keep that in mind too. Your default fallback is extremely important. So let's go ahead and create a couple of training phases. So like, let's say, how do I do 5 and 5? Okay. So notice, without me having to do anything, immediately all of our entities are automatically detected. The 5s are system numbers, and the and is detected as an operand. Okay. And let's say something else. Let's say, what is 3 divided by 2? Okay. Just some other things a kid might ask. I'm trying to think of, because that's what Sped by Me is for children that are struggling with math. And so I'm just trying to think of other ways that a child might ask a question. Let's see, how to minus 3 and 1. So there. So we have it. So we've got an addition, a subtraction, and we've got a multiplication. Well, this one can be multiplication or division. So in fact, we can do the 5 and 5 with a prompt. That'll be pretty cool. So yeah, we'll do that. But let's see. We need one more. Let's do one that is a multiplication. So let's do how I do 3 times 6. All right. So there we've got a couple of basic training phrases. Now, keep in mind that the magic of machine learning is that the person is going to be able to speak in their natural way of saying approximately these things or these phrases. And then we're going to extract the entity values and then perform logic-based operations upon that data. And so I'm going to go ahead and save and train the network, train the agent. These are our action parameters. Okay. Operand is always coming. And also the operand is required. Let's add that later. Now, when it comes to responses, we are going to use fulfillment for the response, because using the default text responses will not allow us to perform conditional logic. So we want to be able to do things like, if the operand is divided, for example, then we're going to want to perform division arithmetic. And so in order to make that distinction, we're going to have to actually do it programmatically. And so that's where fulfillment comes in. So we go ahead and click this fulfillment, drop down, and then enable webhook call for this intent. Okay, and then let's train. Okay, and so now let's go to fulfillment. Okay, and we're going to use the inline editor. Just turn that on to enabled, and then let's go ahead and deploy. So you have to deploy that, and then it's going to set up the cloud function into the Google Cloud Console, and it will also be available for viewing the logs inside of the Firebase functions. So right now we'll go ahead and let that deploy. Now I prefer working in my Dreamweaver over working in this little code editor they provide here. And unfortunately, Google does not allow us to deploy code into DialogFlow fulfillment the same way we would using a normal GCP node cloud function. So we have to manually select all, copy it out of here, go into our IDE. Okay, I'm going to make a folder here inside of our, this is the same directory we've been working on in other videos. So here I'm going to make a DF for DialogFlow, and then inside of here I'm going to make a file for index.js. And just in case you're wondering where I got that index.js, it's right here. And then the next one we're going to do is the package.json. So I'll just go ahead and paste that in there, save it, and make another one. All right, let's open up package.json. Now, mind you, I am not going to cover, at least not in the DialogFlow tutorials, I am not going to cover how to code Node. There's no shortage of tutorials online, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. However, I will talk about all of the important points that are related to DialogFlow. So first of all, here we have a big block of comment. Basically, all of these comments are just code samples of how to handle a matched intent. Okay? So I'll bring your attention to 28, lines 28 to 41, and then also line 58. So this is what we're going to be working with. So I'll go ahead and uncomment this, and I will uncomment this. So we're going to rename the intent with our actual intent name. Okay. And we're going to rename our function. So now, just making this change right here, whenever number 3 is triggered, whenever basic math help intent is triggered, it's going to return the card right here that's going to say this message is from DialogFlow's cloud functions for Firebase editor, and the card below it, and then the buttons below that. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and test to make sure that's what happens. And then so first of all, I'll go ahead and show what happens before we do anything. So I'm just going to say, how do I do 3 times 6? So we didn't put that. Let's put that asterisk as one of the operands. I didn't. So that's why I didn't pick that up. And this is what you do. You test and you adjust. You test and adjust. Test and adjust. So let's wait for training to complete and then ask the question again. How do I do 3 times 6? Okay, so you see how this time we got not available, right, as the default response. So now when we come here under fulfillment, and I'm going to get rid of what's in here, paste in the update. Let's go ahead and deploy. So now when I ask the same question, we should get this response right here. Okay, so now it's deployed. Let's go ahead and test again. How do I do 3 times 6? So there we have it. So there's the, now that image doesn't work. And so we need to change. In fact, we're going to change all of this so that we show, so here I'll show you the image. So for example, if the person asks, how do I do 3 times 6? For starters, I'm going to show this multiplication chart. And once we finish with multiplication, then we'll do the same thing with division, subtraction, addition. But the idea is to show a graphic that's showing how to do it, while at the same time giving an answer. And then let's use the buttons for something else that we'll decide later. So in the next video, that's what we're going to be doing.